Yes, I'm coming to you just really quickly with a message this morning. Too much sunlight, right? Too much. Let me slide over here. Too much. Okay, there we go. Anyway, I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com, at miaredrick.com. I wanted to come to you guys really quick this morning with a simple message about the importance of being comfortable in the skin that you are in. Anybody interested in that? I hope so. I hope that somebody out here will be blessed from hearing this message. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support my clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com, and don't just check me out, connect to my page so that we can stay connected, so that I can actually write you when I'm having any promotions, or maybe I'm coming to your town. Being comfortable with the skin you're in. You need to hear this, Marianne. This message is for you. Hey, mind, body, queen. Do me a favor, guys, and be sure to share on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Periscope, all right? And on Periscope, because this is going to be a really great and insightful message. And my only goal is to move you forward. That's my only goal this morning. I'm so excited about talking about, being comfortable in the skin that you are in, all right? And for those of you who I haven't met before, it's nice to virtually meet you. I got started in my business. I'm gonna scoot here, this light little situations like that. I got started my business 13 years ago, and I made the simple decision to go to work as myself. And what that meant was that I wanted to do work that I flat loved, that honored my skills as a corporate trainer. Hey there, good to see you. And I wasn't sure how I was going to put together my background as a corporate trainer and my systems and motherhood into one business. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And so I remember going to the Small Business Resource Center in my town, and I was told that this idea of like mom coaching, although we didn't use those words back then, I can't wait to connect and meet you. I can't wait to meet you too. You know what? I remember sharing my big idea with someone that I thought could help me. And maybe you can relate to this too. That sometimes you have like this big idea, this thing you're really passionate about. And you know how you give your dream to someone that doesn't deserve it, and they take a pen and they pop your bubble? Well, that's what happened to me. The director of that small business resource center was like, no one's ever going to pay you to, in essence, coach moms. And he kind of laughed at me, stuck me in a corner, gave me some binders to look at, and discounted my dream. And I just want to say that to those of you who are out here, who are my thought leaders, who think about things. You see things that don't exist already, right? That's me. All right. And when you're like that, sometimes it becomes difficult to share your dream with other people, because while you're sharing your dream, what you realize is that sometimes they can't see what you see because it doesn't exist already. And I had to learn that. And I learned that the hard way. I ended up leaving that Small Business Resource Center discouraged, feeling embarrassed, that I thought this was a great idea. Like what I've been doing for the last 13 years, I thought it was a great idea, but he didn't think it was a great idea. And I ended up bumping into a coach, Terry Levine, online. And her systems, her models changed my life. It was the first time I had ever met or even considered working with a coach. I had never thought about working with a business or life coach. It was nothing that I had planned at all. And I remember it was the first time I ever saw an entrepreneur in the truest sense that had time-rich models, who was truly free, truly able to take their laptop, go to another country and work and run their business. And I was really excited about being able to do that for my family. And I always like to reintroduce that story for those of you out here who maybe you're looking for an unconventional way to run your business. And you're like, I know there's something else. I know that was me, right? I didn't know, I couldn't call it out. I couldn't have told you what it looked like, but I tell you what, once I saw it, I knew it was for me, and that was coaching. Fast forward, I've been a full-time entrepreneur for over a decade. I do work that I absolutely love. I work about 31 hours a month from the comfort of my home with time-rich models, and it's something that I absolutely love. I've had the great privilege to coach hundreds of clients. And what's really cool is that all of my clients have created product, like every single one. Every single person I've ever worked with over the last 13 years, they've all created a product. Now, primarily what I do is I help my clients understand that they our product, that you can leverage your brilliance, your talent, your gifts, your education, the things that you know that people ask you about all the time. You can turn those things into something that's highly monetizable, all right? And that might be a book, or it might be a course, or your consulting program, or your coaching programs, or more, all right? And many of my clients have made thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars with the advice that I've given them. And the coolest part is that everything that I teach you and everything that I say right now, I can back it up. I can show it to you right now, all right, inside my private community, because it's real. And I always say that that's so important online and on these platforms. And, you know, the reason I think building a great and amazing business is important is because you have to build your well before you're thirsty. And the fact of the matter is, I will never forget this. My husband 8 years ago developed kidney disease. And when he developed kidney disease, I was so grateful for the fact that I was grateful that I was able to be there for him, that his ability to make income was not based on his ability to perform, and that I had true time rich models, because if I didn't, I would have had to go on the road even though my husband wasn't doing well, all right, and my kids were young. And so I say this to those of you who are looking for options, and I want you to know that there are options. And my husband did get a kidney transplant 3 years ago. He got a kidney transplant 3 years ago, and he's doing amazingly well. But as a result of building an amazing business, we could hire a private doctor for him. So he had a doctor that only had 25 patients. I believe that's why he did amazingly well. We were able to hire a private personal trainer for him so that he could be stronger, you know what I mean, get stronger. And I tell you this because, to me, that's the benefit of building an amazing business. And I know everybody online today is saying 6 figures this and 6 figure that and all that, but at the end of the day, if you build your business properly, when you need it, it'll be there for you. And I hope somebody hears me. I hope somebody that has got some good practical common sense out there is hearing what I'm talking about. What good is a great business if you don't have your health, if you can't climb a flight of stairs, okay? What good is your business if when your family needs you, you can't be there because you can't leave your job or the way that you generate income? I hope somebody is listening, all right? So as a result of building our business, we've been able to give our kids a world-class education. We've invested so far over $715,000 in our kids' private school tuition. And I tell you this because, to me, if you're a mom or dad out there, that's like, maybe that's one of the reasons you want to run an amazing business, because you want to give your kids a great education. And to me, running a great business allows you to be able to do that, all right? Or maybe you just want to travel with your family, or maybe you want to date your husband in the middle of the week. That's me, right? Hey there, darling. And that's, to me, one of the greatest reasons that I love running a business, that I am the boss and I go into the office at 11 o'clock every single day. I get to date my husband as much as I want to because we the boss. All right, that's the ABCs of me. That's the ABCs of me. I just want to say hello to you guys this morning. If you've not met me before, it's nice to virtually meet you. And I hope you guys are ready for this message today. Let me just check the room. If you haven't already shared on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Periscope, please do. If you haven't shared yet on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Periscope, please do, because it's going to be a great message today, right? And I thought, you know what? I want to do a message talking about being comfortable with being in your own skin. In your own skin. Yeah. Like, not somebody else's skin. That's not cool. Won't fit. Like, you know what I mean? Not coveting what somebody else's skin. Not for you, okay? But being comfortable in the skin that you are in. And this is something that I think we all, at some point, it's something we all desire. But the fact of the matter is, sometimes we get there sooner, and sometimes it takes more work. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of being comfortable in your own skin. One of the things that I've learned is that the moment you get comfortable with liking and trusting who you are, other people in your world, the people you start to attract, become more comfortable with you. And I should say the right people. So one of the things that I've learned over the years is that as I've gotten to know myself, and one of the ways that I believe is the best way to get to know yourself is by dating yourself, spending time alone, me time, getting clear about who you are, what you like, what you don't like, so that you can you know what I mean? You can inform any process that's in front of you. You know what I'm talking about, right? So a lot of times we never get comfortable with the skin that we have, or the skin that we're in, because we don't spend enough time with ourselves. All right. I want you guys to hear me on this. And so that's one of the first things I'm going to recommend, is that if you want to get comfortable with your own skin, you need to spend time alone. And what that does for you is it allows you to get clear about, you know, what you like what does good look like for you in your life, in your world, you know what I mean? And so you can inform the process. And I find that a lot of times with women, we are so informed by everybody else's process. What do I mean? By your husband's process. Whatever he's got going on informs whatever you've got going on. By your children, you know what I mean? Whatever they've got going on, that informs what you're doing. But what I'm talking about here is you taking a stand for you and your needs, and what makes you feel stronger, what allows you to get clear, and deciding ritualistically that you are going to make time for that. All right. And I will tell you, if you ever want to get comfortable with the skin you're in, you got to know yourself. So it's impossible to become comfortable with yourself if you don't know yourself. And the way to get to know yourself, first and foremost, is by dating. There are no hearts, but I'm breaking it all the way down. Why? Because I want you guys to get this, right? I want you to understand that being comfortable in your skin is not an outside out thing, outside in thing. It's an inside out thing. Somebody write #inside out. And part of adjusting what's inside so you can face what's on the outside of you is me time, spending that time alone, getting clear about what's best for you, and understanding that self-care really is, in the truest sense, your friend. All right. So I hope you get that. Number one. All right. Then once you get clear, because you decided that, you know what, practicing me time is like really crazy important to you, and you know what I mean? And you're starting to figure out who you are and what you like and what your preferences are. Now you're going to be able to find your voice. Okay. I hope you hear me on this. Number two, you're going to be able to find your voice. Thank you for putting that there. You're going to find your voice. Now here's the power of finding your voice. The thing is, a lot of us, women in particular, we render ourselves voiceless among the things that are all around us. The meaning, we don't have any opinions, we have no preferences, we have no standards. You guys know I'm telling you the truth, right? We just take it how it comes, whatever comes, and we just accept it, because unless you're spending that time alone, then you're not clear to inform the process to begin with. And so you render yourself voiceless, even though inside, you know what I mean? You're like, I don't like that, or I would have done it this way. And maybe you're that person that you find that you're having opinions about things that are happening to you as an after effect. You know what I mean? It's like after it's happened, you're like, I didn't want to do that, or that wasn't the way I would have set it up. But we render ourselves voiceless when we don't take that time to first get clear on what's best for us. And as a result of that, we don't get to inform the process. And then and that in and of itself, number two, renders us voiceless, meaning that there are people in our lives sometimes that think you don't have an opinion, that you don't care about what's going to happen because you haven't informed the process, right? Because you don't even know what you want. So let me give you an example. I'm going to give you a very tangible example for those of you who, let's say, are dating, for example. And let's just say you never date yourself. You don't spend any time alone with yourself. So you don't really know what you prefer in terms of what you like to do, right? And so imagine then you have your partner saying, what do you want to do tonight? Where do you want to go to dinner? What do you want to do what do you want to do? You want to go to movies or something? And you don't know what you prefer. You hear me now, okay? You can't inform the process because you're not part of that process with yourself. See, when you are dating yourself actively, you come to know, like, no, I like a little jazz. You know what I mean? Because maybe you go on Sundays and you listen to some jazz and have a nice cup of coffee and a mimosa and, you know what I mean? And an egg white omelet, wink, wink, right? Or, okay, you know what I'm saying? You can inform the process. But when you're not doing that, you render yourself voiceless. And that means, I don't know, what do you think we should do? And then somebody goes out their way and they set up something for you. And then you're like, I didn't want to do this. You know what I mean? You find yourself doing something you didn't want to do. And You know I'm telling the truth, right? We're talking today about being comfortable in your own skin. The first thing I want you to get is that me time really is so important to becoming comfortable in your skin. And when you do that, you can inform any process, all right? Number two, I want you to understand that in order to be comfortable in your skin, you got to get rid of this idea that you are voiceless. But you will forever be voiceless if you don't spend that time to get to know who you are and connect with who you are. You know what I mean? To figure out what your preferences are. I hope you hear me on this. And then number three, assuming that you're dating yourself and you have found your voice and you're able to inform the process and say, I like this, or I like this, or I prefer this or that. All right. That's becoming comfortable in your own skin, because none of us like everything that people do for us or want us to do. Right. If you can inform the process, you get comfortable in your own skin. It takes courage. And that's number three, is that in order to be comfortable in your own skin, you have to be courageous. You have to be courageous to share your preferences. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes courage, you know what I'm saying, to say, you know, I like sugar and cream. Okay, you know what I mean? In my coffee, you know what I'm talking about. Now, I'm saying coffee, but apply it to anything that you want. And I think that so many women don't get this. Being comfortable in their own skin, yeah, being comfortable in their own skin, maybe you've heard some things about it as it relates to being a woman and having standards for yourself, or saying what you want. Or maybe you've witnessed maybe other women in your life who thought that being, you know what I mean, voiceless, or somebody else speaking for them, or telling them what they thought, or everybody else's opinions to be the most important thing over their own. Maybe that's been your blueprint, and as a result of it, you've really been in conflict about being courageous around saying what you really and truly mean. Okay. And you know, that's just really important, right, to get, right? And if that's you, hey, Latasha, good to see you guys. And thank you so much for sharing. If you guys haven't shared yet on Twitter, on Facebook, on Periscope, please do. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com, at miaredrick.com. Today, I'm talking about the importance of being comfortable, like 100%, hey darling, 100% comfortable in your own skin. And like, how do we get there, right? Because we all have to evolve there. And most often we're not there, and we have to get there, right? I need to come to the Middle East. Who is that? Are you in the Middle East? I need to come there. All right. First thing, right? Yeah, it would be awesome, right? Number one, the first thing I want you to get is, just put something together. I'd love to be there. Number one is understanding that me time is essential, right, to you being able to inform the process of what you want. And so many women never get what they want because they render themselves voiceless. Okay, they're voiceless, right, in their own lives. It relates to their own preferences because they don't know what they want. So by default, they get things that they don't want all around them all the time, or they're part of things that they don't want to be a part of. You know what I mean? And life is moving in a certain way they don't want to move, but they haven't found, number three, the courage, right, to state their preferences. And maybe they've got some biases about it because maybe growing up, you know, your blueprint of the women in your world, those women might have taught you that, you know, that's not a cool thing, or, you know, it's not a kind thing, or it's not a feminine thing for you to be a woman that doesn't say, you know, what you feel. But I'm telling you, this is really important to be comfortable in your skin, all right? And then the number four, I want you to understand that, to me, you know that you've reached a place where you're comfortable being in your own skin because you no longer feel the need to dress it up, or to pretend, or to swallow your real feelings, or to, you know what I mean? Like, you don't feel the need to, you don't feel the need to put on, you don't feel the need to dress up who you are, what you do, how you show up. You're just comfortable being who you are in the truest sense, right? And I find that say what you feel, but don't be led by your feelings, right? Absolutely. And the thing is, I think that so many of us are, we want to be comfortable in our own skin, but because we don't take that time with ourselves to know what we feel, that means that everyone else's feelings trump our own. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know what you feel, then you get, basically, you're dealing with the feelings, you know what I mean, of everyone else's. Because if they're clearly stating what they feel and you're not exercising courage to take a stand for yourself, then by default, you know what I mean, whatever their feelings are, they trump yours. And that should never be the case. And I find that when you learn to be comfortable in your own skin, you realize that, you know, you don't have to fight to advocate for the things that are important to you. Those are things that you deserve. You know what? Blessings are your birthright. You know what I'm saying? Happiness is your birthright. Like, this is not anything that you have to get up early, you know, in the morning and do push-ups for. This is just something that you need to be clear about, that's always available to you, and that you've got to find the courage to be able to plainly state what that is. But also, you're not going to find the courage, right, unless you spend that alone time, so you can say, this is what I like, this is what I prefer. When these things happen, it makes me feel this kind of way or that kind of way, and as a result of that, I don't like that. And now you're clear about that. You can inform the process. But if you don't spend time alone, you guys are with me, see the circle, right? If you don't spend time alone, then guess what? Fact of the matter is, you can't even go there, right? Because you don't even know what it is that you're feeling. You might be feeling frustration or disappointment, or, you know what I mean, or not being heard. And you can't figure out why these things are happening to you over and over again as it relates to your relationships or difficult relationships, or, you know, it may be in the workplace or whatever it looks like. And it's really because you haven't taken that time to get clear for yourself about what you really and truly feel, what you truly really deserve, and as a result of that, inform anyone you're connected to or any situation that you're involved in, or be in decision or in choice about what's best for you, right? Get what I'm saying, right? So that those things can start to show up in your world. And I hope that this is supporting somebody out there that maybe is on the fence, right? When you don't know how to sort your own feelings, it almost always shows up as misplaced anger. It does. I love that. It does. And it's really because if you don't take that time to get clear about for yourself, you know, what you want, what you deserve, who you deserve, you know what I mean, whatever that looks like, you can't be clear about it, right? To even create for yourself, you know, you can't even be clear for yourself about how to create that in your world or how to ask for it. That's one of the most powerful things, and it takes courage. It takes courage to shape your world. You know what? You can, and there are tons of people that live their worlds by default. It doesn't take any courage to do that. It takes courage to live out your world. These little trolls are on here today. So I'm getting like a little workout, right? And so I hope that this has supported someone today to understand that, to me, one of the most amazing things ever is understanding that being comfortable in your skin is not only great for you, but it also is great for the people that you love, right? Because one, it models for your kids, you know, the importance of self-advocacy, which is a very important skill set to have, but also it makes everyone else around you not feel like, well, I don't know what she wants, because they know what you want, or I don't know what she needs because they know what you need, or I don't know if she's going to say yes because they don't know that you're going to say yes. They know that you're going to say yes or no to, because you're very clear about what those things are, right? There is going to be a replay. I'll leave this up today, and it's really important. So if you notice that sometimes you're dealing with people and they're like uncomfortable dealing with you, well, maybe sometimes it has a lot to do with you not being comfortable in your own skin. And I hope that after hearing what I'm saying to you today, that maybe somebody today will think, you know what, you know, how can I show up differently? Maybe I need to get clear about what I want so I can inform, you know, the process in my own world, know what to ask for, know what my boundaries are, and then I can find the courage to ask for those things, you know, as a result of that. And then you start feeling a little bit better about you know, your situation, where you are, and all of those kinds of things. All right. So I hope that this has supported somebody out there today. If you don't mind, I'd love to hear from you one thing that you got as a result of being here this morning. What was one quick takeaway? I always want to leave you guys with something that's insightful. Was there one aha in particular that you took away from this broadcast this morning? I'd love to hear it. Post it here. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com, at miaredrick.com. If you're on Facebook, Mia Redrick, the mom strategist, is my page over there. Mia Redrick, the mom strategist, is my page over there. All right. Always take time to be clear on what I need, what I want and need in my life. That's right. And it sounds so basic, but it's important. And a lot of women don't do it. So it's hard to be comfortable with the skin you're in and you don't know what skin you're in. You know what I mean? So get clear first about what skin you are in and the importance of dating yourself. Thank you for that one. Dating yourself is an important component because it allows you to know what you want. And you know what I mean? When you know what you want for you, then you know what to ask for from others, for you also. And I think that so often we're asking people to do things that we don't even do for ourselves. I only heard a small part, but I think of how uncomfortable I get around people who aren't comfortable. Right. You ever been around people and they make you uncomfortable because they're not comfortable in their own skin. All right. So I think one of the greatest gifts to the world is work on yourself enough so that when you show up, you show 100% as you liking you. All right. And the fact of the matter, when you do that, then people aren't going to feel uncomfortable being around you. All right. And I think a lot of times we've all met people like that. You're like, I don't know what it was like, but when you've been around someone that is secure in and of themselves, they're fun people to be around. They're people that you want to go back to and talk to and things like that. And when you're around people that, you know what I'm saying, that, sometimes I find that the most judgmental people are typically people who are not comfortable in their own skin. So think about it. I want you guys to hear me on this. Think about it this way. Like, okay, imagine if, right, it allows you to release, absolutely. Imagine that you're judgmental of other people, right? And you can see, like, have you ever dealt with someone that's judgmental of someone else? Well, that's a practice. So if they're judgmental of you, that means that's a skill they've mastered. So imagine how they're judging themselves. Think of it this way. Imagine if you were around someone that complimented other people. Like if you were around someone that was an encourager of someone's heart. They have an encouraging heart. That's a skill they've mastered. So likely they are able to also encourage themselves because it's a skill they have. And I always say whenever I meet people with low vibration skills, right, that means that, it's a skill they've mastered. All right. But it also is a skill that they use within their own lives. And I want you to think about that. And if that doesn't drive you, you know what I mean, to figure out for yourselves how to, get connected with who you are, to find the courage to stand up for who you are and who you be, so that, as you go out in this world and share who you are, all we do is share, confidence is sharing more of who you are with the world. All right. Right. Wow. Low vibration skills. That's deep, right? There are some skills that are low vibration. All right. That's just a fact of the matter. There are lots of skills that are high vibration too, but there are some that are low vibration. And the fact of the matter is a lot of people have mastery. You get to decide what you want to master in your life. You know what I mean? So, think about it from that perspective. I always think about, like, I don't want to spend time doing things that are crazy. So many people get offended and defensive so easily. It's ugly, right? So imagine if you're dealing with people and they get offended and defensive very quick. That means that, well, they've mastered that. So imagine, how do you grow if you cannot manage correction? If correction is not a part of your life, then growth isn't either. All right. And so I think it's always interesting when you see the poisonous personalities. So it's like, man, they've mastered these low vibration things. And, and therefore, whether or not there's any room for you over there, or did they master something at high vibration? Whew, that's a bad spirit to have, not offense, right? Well, I mean, the thing is, sometimes people can't handle correction. So growth is correction. right? And so if you become defensive or offensive because of correction of any sort, I'm not talking about people trying to put you down. I'm talking if you, that's all you can hear, imagine what's going on between their ears, right? And that's one of the things that I think I've learned about people. The more comfortable I get in my own skin, it's like, I didn't say that to you. You know what I mean? You heard that from me. The question is, why did you hear that? I didn't say that. I wasn't thinking that. And it takes courage to be able to articulate what you really mean to inform the process. You guys getting me on this, right? And so sometimes even if you're dealing with people who are hearing things differently, it allows you to show up in a different kind of way, right? If more people gave up having to be right, the better off we'd be, right? I think that a lot of times we have to be right because our ego is wrong. You know, like your ego will keep you broke. You know, you have broken relationships, your bank account will be broke. You know what I mean? Your mindset will be broken. And being right is about ego, right? Because, you know what I'm saying? Being right is about your ego, right? It's not about finding the answer, because if it was about finding the answer, you know, you would be engaged in that process, right? Which will be a query process. And you would want to know what is it? All right. But if you have to be right, if there is already a set conclusion, then that's an ego-based thing. So I've enjoyed sharing with you guys today. I want to thank you for your time today. I hope you have an amazing weekend. On the defense, just ready for someone to say or do something wrong, shaking my head. You know what I think? I'm like, not me today. You know what I mean? Like, you know, hey, darling, good to see you. Not, you know what I mean? I'm like, not me today. Like, you know what I mean? Not me tomorrow, you know, like not me today and not me tomorrow. But when you get clear, you can see it coming down the street. You're like, I'm just going to walk across this street here because I don't do that, because you can inform your process. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to engage in that conversation because I don't want to and I'll have to, right? And you know exactly what's happening because, you know, ain't nobody got time for that. Like who? Like no one. And I think it's so important. We don't talk about it enough, in my opinion. I think sometimes, you know, you get yourself caught up in a situation. You're trying to figure out why you're fighting and you didn't want to fight, you know what I mean, with someone. And it's because if you don't make that time to get clear with yourself about what's best for you to inform your process, then you get to live your life by default. That means your choices are determined by what other people want you to do. And that's really important, all right, to take that time to get clear. And when you do that, you'll find your voice. If you don't do that, you will be rendered voiceless. That means that, you know what I mean? You have an opinion about how you want to live, but you don't get to live that way because you live your life by default. That means that whatever anybody else wants you to do and whatever they want to engage you in, you're in, and you can't figure out how you got there because you rendered yourself voiceless, right? You didn't practice courage for yourself. Like, imagine if you want to, you know what I mean, be disparaging to me and I don't play that game. That means that we can't play. You know what I'm saying? If you want to play jacks with me and I take my ball, we're not playing jacks. You're not playing with me. You got to go find somebody else. And I think so often we forget all of the control and all of the power that we have, you know, as it relates to situations we don't want to be a part of. And I think being in this, loving the skin that you're in, is being able to have the courage to say, not my swim lane, not doing that today or tomorrow or next week. You know what I'm saying? I only hang out with people that are respectful and kind. If you're that, you get to hang out with me. If you're not that, sorry. You know what I'm saying? And being unapologetic about, you know, how you want to live. I mean, to me, that's being great with the skin you're in. And too many of us we're complacent, we're compliant. You know what I mean? We're fake. You know what I mean? We are cowards when it comes to really taking a stand for ourselves, right? Taking a stand for ourselves and what we know we truly deserve. And you guys know I'm telling you the truth. And I hope that this will support somebody today that maybe is struggling with, you know, doing that, right? Hey, that took me back to my childhood. The person who got mad and they took their ball home, right? Like that. But you know what? That person that took their ball home, you know, they had courage. So they were like, I'm not going to play with you. There are lots of people who know, we all know we shouldn't be playing with. We play with them just because we don't want them to know what we really feel, because we aren't comfortable with the skin we're in. We're not comfortable saying, I'm sorry, I won't be coming to that. You know what I'm saying? Good, I'm not. And not feeling the need to explain yourself, just saying, no, okay. You know what I'm saying? Or did that work for you? All that kind of stuff. And I find that the more you spend time alone, the better you get clear on what's best for you. You can inform the process. Eventually, it does shift your relationships. The more comfortable you become with yourself, it shifts your relationships. People come to know who you are. They know what you really want. They know what your swim lane is. You know what I'm saying? And actually, your relationships get better. How can I be comfortable in my skin when I get bullied a lot? You've got to advocate. Listen to the beginning of my scopes. We've all gotten bullied. I've gotten bullied as an adult, as well as being a child. And the fact of the matter is, while I was waiting for people to come to my rescue, I had to be my own rescue. People aren't comfortable with you being comfortable, stirs up something in them, and they don't even know, right? They don't even know, right? But it's okay, because the only people you're really trying to hang out with are people who want to be with someone who is secure. See, people who want you to suppress how you feel are not people that necessarily are wanting the best for you. And that's a great clarity thing to understand, right? And you can let them want what they want, but that you don't have to be in choice. That doesn't have to be part of your world, even though that's what they want for you. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? And I think it takes courage to say what you want, even if it's not politically correct. You know what I mean? It takes courage to advocate for yourself. I mean, it just does. I mean, it's easy to go with the flow and like know something's not right and just think, you know what I mean, to yourself, right? Think to yourself like, we'll just get through it, and opposed to shifting it for real. Okay. All right. So are there any other questions or comments? Any other questions or comments that are reasonable? Okay. That are reasonable. All right. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off. If you're not connected to me on Facebook, Mia Redrick, the Mom Strategist, Mia Redrick, the Mom Strategist, or on my Mia Redrick, the Mom Strategist on Facebook, or MiaRedrick.com. Thank you so much. You look beautiful too. I know you're looking beautiful. I know you are, right? You know what I'm saying? Beauty begets beauty, right? I always say, like, if you call somebody else beautiful, it's only because there is beauty in you, right? We give what we are, no more, no less. How cool is that, right? So you just complimented yourself. I love you guys, and I will talk with you soon. Have a great and amazing weekend. Enjoy your families. Bye.